All right, guys, as promised, I wanted to show you guys what it looks like on Flow and how I read it during the market when it's open. So here it is. Now we can get started with the filters I use, and these change sometimes. Most of the time, it's the same, but I'll change it up if I feel like it. So the bid for now, it's off, mid, off, ask side on, no side on. Nothing really changes here. Calls and puts on, stocks obviously are on. ETFs and indices are off. Just there's just a lot of noise. For this filter, it's off. I have another filter that I like to use for ETFs that we can cover. But for now, this one it's off. Just a lot of noise comes in. It's been pretty hard to read. ADRs are on. Um, Nothing changed here. Premium, I just start with 6,000 um, in premium. So, to start, this will change. I can go to 10,000, 50,000, whatever the case may be. Nothing really changes here. Everything seems standard. Sweeps, cross, floor, normal is on, China on. Volatility, again, kind of reminds me of uh, like ETFs and stuff. I don't like to have the VIX and all that stuff come in. Dividends off because you might see a lot of people buying calls, but they have dividends coming up, so that it's kind of misleading. Volume over OI on. Sometimes I turn size over OI. Opening trades doesn't matter. Out the money only. I keep it on because it's more interesting to see why someone's buying a stock $10, $20 out the money rather than the deep in the money or at the money strike. Multi-leg only off. I want to see everything. Single leg off. Today's trades, hide expired, aggregate trades. This is a new feature that Wales has added. So basically, just multiple hits coming into one hit right here, right? So you don't have to like search it up, open up the whole order. It just shows right here, which is really cool. So this is a really cool feature. So yeah, again, so as the market is live, right? Flow is live. Like this one right here, this is an aggregate trade. So, it highlights it. So NLY 20 call for 721 expiration. It's at 1948. Around 13 to 17 a premium. 2,866 sides. Right now it says 46,000 in premium, 73% to the ask. So what I'll do is I'll click this expiration and it'll open it up, right? So right now it only shows 48,000, mostly at the ask, some at the bid. And if you want to get a more clear understanding of what's actually going on, you can click this candle and you can see all the transactions, right? I mean, you can literally from a $16 transaction to a $3,000 transaction. So you see there's some bids, a lot on the ask. But then again, this is only 48,000. So this is not something that I'm not really focusing on. So I'm looking uh, if anything looks interesting, right? So we can sit here for 2 minutes and see if there's any. I mean, for example, I can show you guys what came in maybe 2 minutes ago. Obviously, we've been talking about Rivian for a while. We saw these ones come in aggregates, right? So 40 calls for 12/19/2025 came in, right? You see how there's this massive green bar, right? This means all at the ask. There's 1,500 at the ask, zero bid. Again, you always want to make sure, right? You always want to click. It says candle premium at 1.4 million, total at 1.9 million, average cost of 9.18, 2,000 volume, 566 OI. But let's, we just click this, see, right? So now you can really see that there's all at the ask, right? So again, you can really see what's going on just to make sure, because sometimes people get confused, and I get confused sometimes too, right? So sometimes I'll make a mistake. It could have been at the ask, but at the end of the day, it was a sold to open, right? And that's a huge difference. So you always want to double check the flow, the candle, just to make sure, right? So basically, this is the process, right? So we have an aggregate trade right here, Meta 282.5 put for 105,000. but you see how it's like 47% bid ask. I'm not going to rely on it too much, to play this, 282.5. But so if we're using Rivian as an example, I'll look at it, 40 call. I mean, the stock has been on a massive rally, right? So I'll look at the chart and say, okay, does it make sense to buy it right now? Right? You always want to look at your charts, pull out, a longer time frame, the daily chart, the weekly chart, monthly charts, right? Especially for contracts that expire months and maybe over a year out. So always have that process, know how much you're willing to risk, and then you go from there, right? So again, this is basically it. I just look for, what looks interesting, right? If I see a $150,000 order, I'll open it up, see if there's more, and then we'll just go from there. And here's another example. So net, you see 64 calls coming in for 721 expiration. You see how it has these arrows, right? So it's a multi-leg. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click this. And so this is kind of messy, right? So they're selling 57 puts, right, at the bid, right? They're buying the 64 calls. So this is actually a bullish trade, right? So they're selling the 57 puts and they're buying a 64 call for 721 expiration. So this is an example of a multi-leg trade. So some people will see this and be like, oh, someone's buying a 64 call. Well, not necessarily. There's another leg to it, right? So you always got to open it up, right? So that's basically it. I have another flow filter called big hitters. Nothing really too different. I mean, I have everything on basically, but with a premium of 200,000. And then I change DTE. I can go from 0 to 60, 0 to 30, 0 to 45, regardless, right? And then volume over OI, single leg only, out the money only. And I'll keep the aggregate trades off. So you can really see like this one on Friday, obviously a big order, 1.3 million. Today, Microsoft 365 call for 453,000. Rivian, so what time is it? 11:39. So 5-6 minutes ago, Rivian 25 put sold to open, right? These are at the bid. So this is a bullish positioning, right? So that just came in for 268,000. So this is obviously something that I will look at, right? Or for my runners, this is a good sign. So that's basically it. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, you can always tag me on Twitter, comment on the YouTube video, and we'll see you in the next vid. Thanks for watching.